Rendezvous with Rendezvous. Today's show is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be talking about this amazing call-in feature, which allows you to bring in live guests directly into your live broadcasts, which is going to be a really fun technique, particularly if you have live guests who are remote that you want to bring on the show. You want to interview people, do a talk show, have some sort of joint presentation. There's so many things you can do with this tool. So we're going to be getting into it. I'm going to be showing you how you can set up a live Rendezvous session in your Wirecast projects, and we're going to be bringing in some folks that have been watching the show and have been on the show before, and then we're going to open up the lines. If you have a microphone and a camera and you want to call in, we're going to try this out and actually include you guys and bring you into the live Rendezvous feature on the show. So should be a lot of fun. Stick around. Welcome to Wirecast Live. I will see you after the opening credits. Stick around. Welcome back to Wirecast Live. Each week we do a live show on live video, broadcasting, Wirecast, and things related to live video. I'm your host, Andrew Haley, and you can find us here on Facebook, YouTube, and often Twitter or Periscope at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursdays. And each week, each afternoon, we try to pick a topic that is going to be relevant to you if you're interested in live video, whether you're just getting your feet wet and starting a live stream for the first time, or you're a seasoned, hardened expert who's been doing it all the time and you want to pick up some additional tricks. We often bring in guests or experts in their fields on the show and talk to them about how they do what they do and try to pick up some good advice. We've had some excellent guests on the show in the past. I encourage you to look through our archives. Those are available on the Wirecast Tube YouTube channel or in the Facebook archives. We tend to just leave the raw live broadcasts on Facebook, and then if we can, we clean up any additional spots and add the sort of official version to the YouTube channel. So check those out. If you're curious, go through, watch some episodes. There should be some interesting things to learn for anyone who's browsing those episodes. You can also, I would encourage you, join in the conversation, leave a comment on this live stream if you're watching right now on Facebook or YouTube, or if you are watching after the fact and you're watching this on demand, please share, leave a comment, or send this to someone who might be interested or wants to get to know how to do live video call-in shows and how to make it easier on people. So I know that's something a lot of people want to do these days and add production value to their live videos. We also have a users group very active at on our Facebook page. So you can go to Wirecast Users on Facebook. I actually have it on my desktop right now, which I will pull up. And you can see, you can join the conversation. We'll try to help people with questions if we can. And then this is also a great place to share your successes and your live streams. So if you have some live streams you've produced recently with Wirecast, please share them in the Wirecast Users group. In fact, we've started a new thing we call the Wirecast Stream of the Week. And so if you have a live stream that you're proud of or you want to share that you produced with Wirecast, please tweet it or share it with us and use the hashtag Where's Wirecast, WHERES Wirecast. Where's Wirecast? And we can find it and we can share it. And each week on this show, we will pick our favorites that have been streamed in the last recent few weeks or days. So this week, the stream of the week is a live stream, which again, I will pull up right now, and it's actually going on my desktop. You might have actually heard it during the opener. This is the very first sports broadcast stream that the Southwest Georgia Academy of Athletics has done. So actually, Deborah Lee, I have it playing live on my desktop here on Facebook. So this, we're very proud of these guys. They shared it out. It looks amazing. You can see some awesome title action using New Blue Live going on here. And this was shared and produced, I believe, by David N. and Melissa Byrne. back on May 12th, and apparently it was their first go at doing a live video sporting event with Wirecast. So congratulations to David and Melissa. Thank you for sharing this stream, and that's why we picked it for Stream of the Week. Keep doing it. We can't wait to see more live video streams from you guys using Wirecast. And, you know, if you want, if there's anything you can learn as you go, please share it with the rest of the community. We'd love to find out what you're learning and how you are improving each time you go out and do a new live stream. Okay, so that's our live stream of the week, new spotlight. As far as news this week, I don't have a ton of news other than just we are going to be back next week with a new guest. And actually, Deborah, if you can remind me who it is. I forgot, I don't have the schedule in front of me. But we'll be back here next week with a new guest, and we have a webinar coming up that you may be interested in. If you are on the fence about upgrading, you're sitting on an older version of Wirecast, and it's something you've been wanting, you're thinking about pulling the trigger because you've been seeing the new features in 8 and the new features in 9, this webinar is for you. It's specifically on why you might want to upgrade, or why this might be the time to upgrade to Wirecast and your version, to the latest version, which is currently at 9.0.1. But as I've been saying for a while on the show now, we have a lot more in store, and you will expect new versions coming out shortly. So when you get on that new version, or when you do upgrade, you do get free features and updates and upgrades for a year included. And then after that, it's just a subscription. So it's very simple and affordable, and you can always receive these latest updates. So this is kind of the last big upgrade push, because from this point on, you're really just subscribing to the Wirecast platform. Okay, so that's my news. If you want to register for that event or any of our webinars, you can head to telestream.net/events, which you saw the URL on the screen there. All right. There is no guest next week. This is just in my monitor here. So currently, I guess we don't have a guest next week. So we will have to sit down and brainstorm another topic. So keep posted for that. We do notify you folks by email or on our live channels on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and you can get notified, and we'll send out updates on what that topic is. So without further ado, we'll post that out as soon as that's out. And this is another way to get notified if you're curious. We will send out updates as soon as we have the show cards and the stuff produced. So we're actually currently booking our next sort of set of guests and working with schedules. So we should have some very good guests coming up. We're just checking them out, including, I believe Vincenzo Landino is going to be coming up on the 14th. And I've been talking to a few other folks, some of whom have actually been on the show before, and a few new faces as well. So we will keep you posted and be posting a schedule of their appearances so you can pencil those in on your calendar if that guest or that topic interests you. All right, that's it. I want to dive into today's topic, which is all about how to set up a live video interview using Rendezvous. So this feature came out last year in Wirecast 8, and it's been improved and sort of refined, and it's really, really awesome. I'm really loving it. And so we've set up a sort of test sort of experiment here where I'm going to show you how I set up these Wirecast Rendezvous callers. So I'm going to close Safari here, and what I'm going to show you is first how I did it, or what we're doing here on the show, so you can repeat this if this is something you want to try with Wirecast. And then we'll actually bring people in. So starting with my Wirecast Rendezvous dashboard, I have created a Rendezvous session. So I actually went into my Add Sources menu, which is right here, and I clicked Network. I went to the Network Sources, and I clicked New Rendezvous Session. Actually, I see a few of you are already calling in. So we will open the line here. We talked about this last week, but if you do want to call in during the show, we'll give you a URL you can go to, and you can actually call in, and your name will appear here, and we can add you in as a guest. So I already started a new Rendezvous session, and you'll see here that in the dashboard, this is what you get. You'll get a link that you can share with your guests. So I just, every time you create a new Rendezvous session, you actually can go down here and it will create a new Rendezvous link. You can copy this web link. It's just a unique Rendezvous link for your guests, and you email that to them or you text that to them. If you use something like Facebook Messenger, that can occasionally be a dangerous way to share links, because the Facebook Messenger often opens those links in its own proprietary Facebook browser, and so it kind of eats the link, so to speak. So just warn people that if they're trying to open it in Facebook Messenger, the link may not work. They may want to just copy and paste that link into a browser. Like Chrome works great and Mozilla Firefox works great. The reason those two browsers are the ones you want to open these links in are because those browsers are natively compatible with WebRTC. WebRTC is a low latency video chat protocol or format that most video calling tools use. When you're talking with someone, you obviously want the audio and video to be almost instantaneous. So that's WebRTC. So web browsers like Chrome and Firefox allow you to do that. Now, those browsers won't help you or your guests if you A, don't have a great internet connection, and B, if you don't also have a microphone and a video camera. So you need to make sure that Chrome or Firefox can find a microphone or a video camera, probably both. And then when they click on the link, it'll open the Rendezvous dashboard and they can join, and it'll ask them for their name. And you, as the Wirecast user or host, you have complete control over who joins your session. So I can actually obviously see the list of people who have been asking to join, and then we can add them in and then bring them into our Wirecast projects just like they were a camera or a capture card that we have connected natively to our computer. We can arrange our shots. So that's what we're going to do in a second. We'll bring some folks in. I just wanted to quickly go back here. Oh, one other thing I need to tell you is, what do you as the host share in return? So there's a number of things you have options for. So you up here can choose what camera you want to share and what audio source you want to share. So right now I'm just sharing my camera capture card, which has my main camera feed here that you're seeing. And then I'm also running my soundboard, my microphone, into that camera. So both of those are now coming into my computer right here. They're also going to the studio, which is where Deborah Lee's controlling this broadcast that you're seeing now. But for me locally, I've also sort of split that feed and brought it into my little computer, my demo computer right here, which is the desktop that you're seeing. So I've routed that audio and video together, so hopefully any guests like Lutz or Vicky that we'll bring on the show in just a second, and some of you other viewers and callers like I saw Greg and a couple others, will be able to see and hear me through these sources. You also now have the option to return your live program output. So if you want to show your guests what the audience sees, whether they're on screen or whether it's some overall composited presentation like this one, then your guests will also be able to see that if you choose the live program output as your return. So any audio source or video source and any or your program mix source can be returned. So you select all that, and when you're ready to go, you are now ready to start adding people. The next step you might want to do is set up some shots for your guests to appear in. So right now I've just created some simple placeholder shots using the Wirecast templates. So I've created a one caller shot here, and I've created a side by side, and I've created a sort of a two together, which is sort of stretched and a little probably would again, these may require some editing when we bring in the guests here. Okay, so then the final thing that I've done for you guys to be able to see and hear the guests is I've taken the audio and the video out of Wirecast, and I'm feeding it to Deborah Lee in the studio. And of course, she sees my desktop here. So this is how you guys will see the guests. I will actually make them full screen using my output right here under the multi-viewer. So I'm actually going to, I can actually choose what displays, including this one that you're seeing now, what displays I want to be full screen. So I can configure this display, and this is my Blackmagic display, to show whatever is in the live window. So right now I have this stacked 2-up template in the live window. So if we turn this on, this is what you guys will see. So that is how you will see the guests that we bring in today during the show. But of course, you don't have to do this if you were producing the broadcast. See, obviously I'm making this, full screen, and so that you guys can see it, and we take it all together in our Wirecast machine in the studio, in the control room. But if you were doing this as the Wirecast operator, then you would probably, set up your shots a little differently. You might add yourself in the live output as camera B or something like that. Or you might add a third template or placeholder. So obviously this would be your final output in this screen right here, because that's what your audience would see and what you would be broadcasting. So other than that sort of simple step, additional step that we're taking, this is how you could set this up yourself. Just set up your shots, create your rendezvous session, and you're off to the races. So we're going to start. We're going to practice. Again, this is a bit of an experiment. We've not done this before on the show, so we're very excited to try it. And we've asked a couple of our friends, Vicky and Lutz, to join us and be on standby to join the show. And then, as I said, we'll call in we'll bring in some additional callers and see how it goes. Now, again, like I said, we haven't done a ton of testing or anything like that. So I think it'll be fun to try this out, and hopefully everything will go well. So I'm going to take this over to my other screen, and I'm going to just start with a one caller. We'll start with one, and then if we can stack or bring in additional people, we'll try that. Okay? To start with just this one, I'm going to now add Vicky to the show, and we're going to bring her in as a camera source, and then hopefully you'll be able to see and hear her. And then I will replace her, this placeholder A shot with her rendezvous shot. So, and hopefully I can actually walk you through that as I do that. Okay, here we go. So we're going to bring in Vicky. See if this works. Vicky, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hey, and you can see me and everything's working. I'm going to just pull up my source here, audio. And you can see and hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly.
Awesome.
I just had to mute the Facebook
Yes,
show.
yes. That's the one thing about, if you guys are calling in, like Lutz, you'll be next, and some of the other guys, you'll need to mute your Facebook show. It's kind of like when you call into a radio show, right? It's so far behind. So welcome. Hey, it's great to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you too. This is so fun. I actually had to take out my gear because I haven't used it for such a long time.
Well, you've been kind of busy, so I want to get to that in just a second. But first, I want to add you, and you won't be able to see this, but you'll probably see it on Facebook in just a few, like 10 seconds or 30 seconds. But I'm actually going to replace the A placeholder with your shot, and I'm going to show people how we do that real fast.
Awesome.
So I'm going to start by right-clicking on the shot, and I'm going to just go to change source, and I'm going to change that to Vicky. Okay? And then the other thing we need to do, so you'll notice that it's stretched. So we need to just go back and just sort of scale to fit. Boom. So there we go. And then we also want to make sure that the audio is coming in correctly there. It looks like we do have audio and video, so we're good. And now our next step is to take this live. Now, the thing is as long as I have my Rendezvous dashboard open, Vicky, people will be able to hear you. But if you didn't have the Rendezvous dashboard, like you as the host can always hear them. And I'm just feeding the host, like what the Rendezvous dashboard hears, I'm feeding that to the control room. So Deborah Lee should be able to hear you just fine. But if I closed that, or if I didn't take your audio into the live window, then none of that would be broadcast out. All that dashboard audio is really just for the host to listen to. It's not for the audience because it has nothing to do with the production you're mixing together. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to now take you live and make you full screen. So you're going to take over my blue background here, and I'm actually going to now activate by going to the output menu, I'm going to activate you full screen here. So we're going to go to multi-camera,
Awesome.
we're going to enable BMD, and you should just pop in there. Okay, so now everybody should be able to see and hear you, and this would be how we're going to do our interview today. And Deborah Lee, you can do whatever trickery you want to do. You want to put it side by side or whatever, you now have that availability. There you go.
Awesome. You guys get so creative with the green screen. I love it.
Okay, yeah, let me take off the audio there. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we try to have fun here. It's one of the perks of the job. So, Vicky, how have you been? What's going on?
Oh my goodness, my baby girl is 2 months now.
I know.
Time flies like crazy. And I am just enjoying her as much as I can. I no longer say, oh, I can't wait till she's crawling. I can't wait till she's talking. I'm just like really, really enjoying her as she is.
Savor every moment, huh? And this is your first baby girl. You have boys, 2 boys, and this is your third. This is a girl.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh man, so great. My third child is a girl as well, also the baby, and you're right, she's growing up so fast that it's like stop right where you are.
How old is yours again?
She turned 3 just a little while ago. So she's turning 3 in a hardcore way. Like 3 is, I remember 3 now. It's not the terrible 2s, it's the terrible 3s, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yes, exactly.
It's misnomer. So that's been keeping you super busy. Are you in any way keeping up with Mompreneur, or are you doing any of the stuff since last we saw you on the show? Anything else new in the Mompreneur world?
Well, I am still active on Instagram, still chatting with my mama, still doing very limited consulting, but mostly really spending time with the baby, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's how I planned it, to take the time off. And my plan is to go back into live streaming for myself, the Mompreneur Show in September. So.
Okay. All right. Who's watching the kiddos right now? I can kind of hear them in the background.
So my 10-year-old, he's actually going to be 10 in 3 days. My 10-year-old is watching Julia right now.
Okay.
And it's like, it's so precious. She's fed, she's changed, she's happy, she's laying there, and he's chatting with her. So it's so sweet.
All right, cool. Well, if they either wants to make an appearance on the show, they're more than welcome to join you. I'm going to leave that up to you as the mom to make that call.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So follow you at mompreneurshow.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also find you on Twitter at Mompreneur.
On Twitter is Vicky Lashenko.
Vicky Lashenko. Okay.
And then I am starting to build my personal brand, VickyLashenko.com. But
cool.
The website's not done, so don't go there
Don't go there yet.
Unless you want the gear guide. But
okay.
Other than that, don't go there.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you just making time on standby today to be on the show. I think that Rendezvous is something I really been wanting. People have been asking us to do more on and kind of talk a little bit more how it could work and how we do it and how it works, how to do a show with it. And I know, have you been using? I mean, obviously you've been out of this for a while. Have you played around with Rendezvous much yet?
I have played around with it, and here's a trick. If you don't want to take anybody's time, you can just take your phone, email yourself a link, and put the phone where the kids are playing. If you don't have kids, somewhere where the radio's playing or whatever, and that way you can test and play around with it. But it has been really great. You guys have made so many great additions to the 9.01 version.
Oh, yeah?
Which I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you. There's a lot more coming. But we're trying to keep it, user-friendly, but still very deep with a lot of professional tools. So I think there's going to be a lot more coming.
I know Steve mentioned earlier that that Rendezvous is not fully, it's weak, but maybe in the very, very first version, it wasn't 100%.
It was really almost a beta in its first
exactly
initial.
But I think you guys did such a good job improving other things like the dashboard, the adding new shot feature. That was really, really cool. So you guys are doing an amazing job.
Cool. Well, thanks for the feedback. Actually, and now that people can share their program output back to Rendezvous, so you could see whatever is on the screen that the audience sees. I think your guests can see that. Was it interesting to come in today as a guest with the Rendezvous dashboard and the web console? Because you're coming in not as the host, obviously, you're coming in as a guest. What was that experience like?
It is so easy.
Yeah.
All I had to do is put my name and in there and then click join, and I'm in. But one thing is that I think that you have to tell your guests, like a lot of my guests, they're not super techie, and so I would probably have to tell them, make sure you click on that little gear icon and select the right source for audio and video, because my audio and video source were incorrect.
Okay.
Something that I wouldn't want to use. But I think this is it's so easy. You give people a public link to join.
Right.
I think this is my gears are turning for the show in September, because I can literally have an after party, or even an after party after the show, after the guest is off. And have a discussion like, hey, who wants to chime in? Who wants to share their thoughts about the show? And I think people will really love it, because I remember the old radio days when I used to call in the radio. My heart would be, I'd get butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be on the radio. While on radio, I'm having this really super nervous voice because it's so exciting. And the fact that people can do that on video, on Facebook Live, in my case, with the show host, because we kind of seem like we're really cool, but when we're on camera, you know what I mean,
Oh,
Andrew.
yeah. You're like very cool. Both of us. We totally just bleed cool.
Like, I mean, to our viewers, we look like mini celebrities. And for them to be able to call in and chit chat with us on a live show, I think it's so awesome. And it's a great way to build community and build trust. And I think it's super fun.
Awesome. Yeah, like this is a really, it's one thing I want to do for a while, a call-in show, and we're actually going to try to do a few more of these based on the success of how today went. And then the other trick that I think we added to this is rendezvous links right now. So some of these things, like in the future, maybe we'll make them last longer, but right now they last 2 hours. Like if you're not using them, they last 2 hours. You can, once you're using them, they're as long as you want. But if you create one and you haven't used it within 2 hours, it'll expire. So that is currently something to know about. So what we created for today's show was a redirect link. We just said, rather than constantly be changing the link and you have to get the very specific kit, we can change it on our side. And then all our guests need to know is telestream.net/rendezvous. And then they just go to that link, and then that link should redirect them. And if there is no active like rendezvous session, we'll just throw up a page like, hey, we're not currently doing a rendezvous call-in show. So that way we can control everything on our side, and our guests never have to learn even a crazy link. They just go to our custom link. But for now, we made our own custom link through our website. But eventually we've even talked about making custom rendezvous links too in Wirecast. So there's lots of ways we could continue to improve it.
That is genius. I'm going to do that too. And for all of you guys like WordPress people, you can do that by getting a plugin called Pretty Link.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you guys use, Andrew, but Pretty Link, and download it in your WordPress dashboard, and you can put in whatever short link you want and direct it to anything.
That's cool. So it's an auto redirector that you can just set up. So you just plop in your rendezvous session link there, and then in the meantime, your pretty link is like whatever you want it to be. VickyLashenko.com/rendezvous call in or something like that.
It could be like, rendezvous is so hard to spell. I would join or chat.
Okay. That's the other thing. We'll have to like go back to the spelling thing. Okay.
But then again, it doesn't really matter because you sent a link anyways.
So Vicky, what I'm going to do next is we're going to try this. We're going to add LUTs to the conversation. See if all three of us can call in and talk.
That'll be so fun.
And then we'll let you go because we know your kids are waiting. But I want to try this, and then I'll go one-on-one with LUTs for a little bit, and then we'll open up the lines to everybody else who wants to join.
Awesome.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to off screen here. I'm going to just actually I'll just come in here and I'll hit the escape key. So that's going to make you disappear, but you're still in my Wirecast document. And then we're going to add you to this source on placeholder. Actually, we'll probably do it on the stacked version. That might be the easiest way. We'll start with this shot. So I'm going to come to here. And again, I'm just, you can't see because my head's in the way. Hold on. All right, so we're going to come in here. We're going to change source A to Vicky. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to add our next guest, which Lutz, hopefully you're standing by here. Lutz is all the way in Germany, so he's up late right now. So we're going to add him.
Oh, that's so kind of him.
It is. And Greg, I see you there. Stand by, buddy. We're going to bring you in a bit. So here we go. We're adding Lutz. Lutz, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. You can hear Vicky?
Yes.
Hey, Lutz,
Hi,
it's Vicky.
Yes, I can
Oh
hear
my
you.
goodness. Oh, there you are.
Perfect. All right, everyone can see and hear each other. So I'm going to now do what I was doing. I'm going to I'm going to go back to my shot here, my two shot, and I'm going to jump in and we're going to add Lutz to source B. So we're just going to add Lutz Conius, and there he is. He's now in there, and let's take them live, and we're going to jump back here and just ignore me while I make this full screen. So we're going to go to full screen. And again, this is how we're doing this for this show, but you as the producer would have kind of already set all this up before Rendezvous. But okay, here we go. So we're going to we're going to turn on the Black Magic screen, and there you both are. And can everybody hear you guys again still?
Hello.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a little bit strange to hear you first and see it later on Facebook.
Yes. Lutz, what time is it there?
Around midnight.
Around midnight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's midnight.
I should have brought you in first. I'm sorry. I did.
No, that's no problem.
Didn't mean to make you stay up late. So,
Oh my
Just
god.
packing,
go ahead.
just packing my stuff for the weekend.
Yeah.
We have a Wirecast session here in
Ah,
Hamburg, a sailing competition. So
you have to stay up late to do the prep work. I understand that. So
yes.
this is your first time on the show. You've been a longtime viewer. We met, I think, several years ago when I was in Amsterdam for IBC.
Yes.
And you're a broadcaster, right? You work for ARD?
Yes.
Is that that's a
For the
channel in Germany?
Yeah, that's the public broadcaster in Germany.
Mm-hmm. So
And,
it's like PBS?
I work for the news there.
Ah.
And we have the main news show at 8 o'clock there, Tagesschau. And I set it up, all this stuff in the studio and the galleries. But now we are set up a new production unit with NDI and Wirecast.
Awesome. Okay. And that's going well?
We used it for Facebook Live, and that's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Vicky. Oh, we have a third. We have a fourth visitor on the show. Julia, welcome.
Thank you. Julie probably needs her passy because she's not very happy that Mama left her.
I
but
understand. Oh, she's so cute,
there
Vicky.
she is. Thank you so much.
Oh,
She's
congratulations
our little
again.
joy. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
And thank you so much for having me on. This
Yes.
was so much fun.
Yes, we're going to let you go now and say goodbye. I'm going to take Lutz full screen. But Vicky, thanks again for making time and doing this fun experiment with us. It was really fun
Thank
to
you
have
so much, Andrew. I'm so honored you guys asked me.
Oh,
So
anytime.
sweet.
Anytime.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Julia.
Bye, Lutz. Bye, Andrew. Talk to you later.
Bye. Okay, so Lutz, now I've got you full screen and we are working. So things, it looks like things are good. You've got, you're using your earbuds, your AirPods.
Yeah, my AirPods. Yeah.
That's your audio and video. Okay, and are you using your
my
Mac?
camera and all Yeah, I have my Mac with my camera, my MacBook, and because all my stuff is it's packed.
You packed it all away.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
All microphones, all cameras, and so I only use my MacBook and my AirPods.
Well, welcome to Wirecast Live. Now you're on the show. You're not the viewer today.
Yes, so excited.
So, is there anything else that have you tried Rendezvous yet? Have you been using it at all for any of your productions? Has it been needed?
I tested it.
Mm-hmm.
As Vicky said, with my phone and other laptops, and I tested it with 5 in-callers.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty good. And but tomorrow we on this sailing competition, I tried to set up 3 cameras on the boats, and with the Rendezvous session to get the pictures of the sailing boats.
Ah, okay. So you're going to be using the mobile cameras?
The Wirecast Go.
Wirecast Go. Okay. Interesting.
With Wirecast Go, yeah, and then with the 4G, I try to do it.
See how it goes.
Let's see what happens.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
Every time you try things for the first time, you just try it and you see what works.
Yeah. I think it will work.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, how fast can the boats get going?
Not fast.
Not too fast.
No. It's a sea, a lake directly in Hamburg, in the middle of Hamburg. It's so beautiful there, and there is a big sailing competition tomorrow and the weekend. And no, they are going not fast.
Have you live streamed this competition before, or is this the first time?
No, it's the first time. And we will see. We will try to do our first show tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it's midnight at your time.
Yep.
And so now, and then at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock and then 8 o'clock, there's a big opening ceremony, and just wait and see.
Cool. Okay. Well, I look forward. Post it in the users group. Maybe that could be our stream of the week next week.
I will do it. And I hope it will work with the rendezvous session.
Yeah,
so.
us too. We had Imri Halevi on the show from Harvard Athletics, and he's done some very good posts and blog posts on their rowing competitions and how they stream those with Wirecast.
I saw it.
Okay, good.
That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I don't think he was using Wirecast Go. So if you write a new blog post and say, "Hey, this is an even easier way," if it goes well, maybe we try that when that works. So good luck tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
We should let you get some sleep and get ready for the big day tomorrow.
No, I will see the show today.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you staying up late to join us each time we do this show.
Yes.
It's so very nice good to see you again.
And all your guests are so interesting, so it's nice to see it.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, you're one of them now, and so thank you. Is there anything you want to shout out or plug on the show? Should people find out more about what you're doing somewhere?
No. Everything is fine as it is, and I can also say the Wirecast 9. The Wirecast 8. It was not so good. I think a little bit buggy, but the Wirecast 9 is very cool with NDI. We tested a lot last week with NDI with the Bird Dogs together with the NewTek IO box.
The Sparks.
Six NDI sources into Wirecast.
Wow.
With my MacBook, and the CPU usage was about 50%.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Wow.
No crashes. Was really good. We play around with unicast and multicast. That's a little bit tricky on Mac.
It is.
We will do a test next week. On Windows, it was easy, but on Mac, it was a little bit tricky to get multicast working. But and Wirecast 9 is great.
Cool. Well, that's good news. Yeah.
And we tested, and some of my colleagues. I'm a vision mixer, so I know the using of a big vision mixer like Sony or Grass Valley.
Right.
And there are lots of other video software.
Right.
But Wirecast is special, I think.
It's
not really working like a vision mixer. So it's so easy to set it up. You don't have to care about keys and mix effects things. It's so easy. It's a layer, and you can put some shots in to build some DVE shots, and it's so easy to use. And you don't need to be a techie to use Wirecast.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to use, but it's still powerful.
Yes, that's right.
Right. No, that's a good way to put it. And I do you use Photoshop at all? I mean, we like to say that it's the layers are kind of like Photoshop. You stack them. Do you feel that's true?
Yes. It's so easy. So,
Cool. Well, I'm glad you're happy with it and it's working well for you. And I really hope everything goes well tomorrow.
Yes, I always think so. Yes.
Okay. Well, good luck. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And it was so good of you to come on the show. Really appreciate you being on standby for us. We wanted to make sure we had at least a couple people to call in just to try. And then now I think it's time to see if someone else would like to come on the show too.
Yeah. Have a nice show.
Okay, you too. And I'll see you get some sleep. We'll see you next time.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
So if you would like to come on the show, so we have Greg, you're standing by, so I'm going to bring you on in just a second. But if you're someone who would like to come on real quick, you're a Wirecast user or just you've been watching the show, you have a camera, you have a good internet connection and a microphone, then just go to telestream.net/rendezvous. That's RENDEZVOUS. And I guess Vicky is right. That is kind of hard to spell. So, Deborah, if you want to put that on the screen, we can put that on there, and we'll put you on there. And I'm going to start by bringing on our next guest, which will be Greg. And I'm going to boot. We're going to boot. Hey, there he is. Ooh, he's got a cool backdrop, too. Let's Greg, hang on one second. I'm just adding you to change the source to Greg. And we're going to take you live there, and looks like we're good. Hey, and it looks like there's a link over you right now.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good.
Hey, I love your background.
Yeah, look, I thought from Australia, I thought I should do something cute, so.
Oh, it's amazing. So good. Oh, so wow. All right, Australia, Greg. This is amazing. You're coming in from a long distance away.
Yeah, and certainly that's one of the good things I do like about Rendezvous. It's pretty low latency, even doing stuff across the globe. It's
across
well for me.
Yeah, the Pacific Ocean right now.
Yeah.
So, Greg, is that I mean, I know it's a video clip, but is that an accurate reflection of the time where you are? Are you in Sydney, or are you in Perth, or where are you in Australia?
Yeah, I'm in Sydney, and it's currently 12 past 8 in the morning. So
okay, nice and early. All right, so maybe the sky is a little darker than in reality there right now, but it looks good. It looks good for us, though. We could totally believe it's totally evening there right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like Deborah Lee put the link on the show. So, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself. I've never met you, obviously, so you're calling in. I really appreciate you. What made you want to call in today?
Look, I've been using Wirecast now for a few months, and I came across it by watching someone else who uses Wirecast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Saw what he was doing and thought, this is interesting. I've been involved in bulletin boards and internet forums for many years, and thought, well, this is a new media, so let's try it out for my subject matter area.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that you use Wirecast for, or what's your background and expertise in?
So I have a call-in chat show similar to this, but it's talking about drones and drone photography, aerial photography.
Oh, so very cool.
The topic area.
Yeah, did you catch the show we did on drones with Troy, Trey Ratcliffe? We did a fun show, and he's kind of in your neck of the woods, so to speak, down in New Zealand.
Yeah, I did see that some time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I've got to work out how to do one day is I know that the brand of drones that I use have the ability to push video somewhere, but I haven't quite worked out how to get that in as a live input into Wirecast yet. Certainly that will be a future project.
Yeah, what brand of drones? I'm going to take a note here. Maybe I can help you brainstorm.
Yeah, DJI.
DJI.
They've got 80% of the market, so yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely the big guys in the market. I really wish they would do a third-party sort of development kit on that, and how you do that. So you use, I assume, then you don't load your own cameras on the drones typically, or do you? You use the built-in cameras?
Yeah, so for the prosumer kind of model, there's a built-in camera, but for the higher end stuff, you can put other custom cameras on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And so then, would you be more interested in getting the video out of your custom cameras, like your DSLRs, or would you be the built-in cameras?
It shouldn't matter, because the Wirecast would take input from DJI Go. It's interesting that they've got the same kind of name. DJI Go is their application. And it doesn't matter if you've got a DSLR on a custom or whatever, they're going to be sending via the same feed.
Very cool. Okay, well then I will help. It's something I have a few ideas. We've actually kicked a few ideas around the office, so maybe we can offline with you. If you message us on Facebook or something like that, we can shoot you some of our ideas.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
All right. Well, do you have any other last questions? It looks like we have another caller. And again, if you guys do want to call in, like Greg here, please feel free. You can use the link below, telestream.net/rendezvous, and it should auto load you into our queue here, and we can bring you on as you come in. So we'll probably stick around for a couple more callers if you're interested. I see we have at least one caller on the line with Ben. So Greg, any questions before we disconnect?
Look, I'll just ask you, audio, doing some examples in a future video on how you do your audio setup with Rendezvous, I think would be really good, because that's been certainly a challenging area for me.
Okay.
One of the things that I bring in is I'm doing desktop capture at the same time as Rendezvous, and then that kind of overlaps with the local Rendezvous dashboard coming back in through that desktop capture.
Yep.
Things like that,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So I don't know if you guys can hear this, but if I turn on my here, Greg, what we'll do is we'll take you out of full screen for a second. Maybe this might help. If I turn on my
if I talk now, you're hearing
did you hear
Vader voice?
Did you hear that? I'm not sure if you heard that or all, but on the live broadcast, I think everybody may have heard an echo there. And what's happening there is exactly what you're describing, is that you are picking up whatever's coming out of the Wirecast, output via the monitors. And the monitor device is usually set to the same device as your your broadcast output. So what you can do there is there's a couple splitting of audio techniques you can do, and there's also the mix minus audio. So you're right. I think that's worth another sort of dive in. But audio is definitely the head scratcher for a lot of people.
Yeah,
it can
absolutely
be tricky. So I will take that. I've got that down. So we got two requests from you. We have ways to get DJI video into Wirecast from drones, and then also to maybe do a little more in depth on the audio, sort of how to use audio with Rendezvous.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Well, Greg, thank you for calling in, and I really appreciate it. It's so cool to have you join us, and I appreciate you doing the great backdrop there.
Anytime. Thanks, Andrew.
All right. Well, good luck with your with your drones and with your live show. Where can we find out more? Where can viewers find out more about what you're doing?
It's called Oz by Drone. It's YouTube only at this stage, not on other platforms. And that actually, I just thought of another question. Optimal settings for countries that don't have the same internet that you have. So for me, I've got the most expensive service that I can buy in terms of internet where I'm located, but I can only get about 2 meg upload. And I can't pay any more money. There's nothing I can do. So,
interesting.
Ways of combating that would be a cool topic.
Yeah. Okay. Great suggestion. Okay. So we'll talk about optimal internet settings and Oz by Drone. How do you spell that?
OZ by Drone.
B-Y B-U-I B-U-Y
B-Y.
B-Y. Okay, so O-Z or Z, right? B-Y Drone on YouTube. Cool. Well, Greg,
I should have brought up my logo before.
That's all right. It's all right. We'll get you next time. Thanks for calling in. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Andrew.
Nice to meet you. All right, so that was Greg Kunert. I think I said your name correctly there, Greg. And joining us from Australia, I'm going to now bring in Ben. And we're going to disconnect. I'm going to boot Greg. There we go. And let's see if we can get Ben to come in here. Ben, are you there? Let's see if we can bring you in here. I'm not seeing or hearing Ben, so it's a possibility he's not able to join us right now. That's okay. If that was our last caller for today, it was fantastic from Greg in Australia. I'm so pleased we got to have him call in. And for the rest of you, maybe we'll try more call-in shows in the future. I really thought this was kind of fun. Let me know in the comments if you think this is something you think we should do from time to time, or just kind of a Ask Me Anything or call-in style show. Again, if any of you do want to call in, I will leave the line open just for a little bit longer till the end of the hour at 3:30 here, so we'll be on the air. You can call in again if you want at telestream.net/rendezvous, and I'll try to take a couple questions and answer anything that you want to answer if I can. So let me just, in a moment, check on the questions because at the end of the hour, not had that 3:30 here. I'm going to stay on the page. I'm going to take off that thing. All right, so we have Deb saying, thumbs up, thumbs up. What's your upload speed, Vicky? That was a question for Vicky. And then Deb saying this was fun. We've got Walter saying your daughter's name is Julia as well. But she's 39. Okay, time flies. That's true. I imagine, yeah, I'm going to feel the same way. And Vicky will as well. I hope that demo was helpful, Walter. Thank you for the feedback on that. Ben is wondering that feature's pretty great. It's saying we've got Steve saying hi. Terry says great show, but he has to go to bed, so good night from Norway. We'll catch you next time, Terry. Thanks for tuning in. And let me just go back to my... Oh, we have one more. We have Chris Sabato on the line. Let's see if we can get Chris in here. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey,
can you hear me?
I can. You sound good, look good. How's it going? I'm going to bring you on screen here in just a second. Replace this question mark with you. Boom. There we go. How's it going?
Super.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Absolutely. I happened on Facebook at the right time, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Let's click and join."
I'm glad you did. I was worried we'd only have one random caller. We had two sort of ringers with Vicky and Lutz because we prearranged with them. But for everybody else, I wasn't sure if anybody would want to call in. So it was fun to have somebody on the line with Greg and now you, Chris. So Chris, tell me about yourself. What do you do?
I'm the assistant athletic director for media at Willamette University in Salem, Oregon.
Awesome.
And so I do a little bit of everything, graphic design, social media, but my title Wirecast is I do all our web streaming. So
awesome.
All the games and whatnot that we stream online, we do all that with Wirecast.
And the season must be coming to a close. The whole school year is coming to a close, right? Are you guys done?
Yep. We're done. So we're in wrap up mode and then starting to plan and figure out what new equipment and what new gear that we can get to make next year's streams a little bit better.
Awesome. So it's the time of going back to the drawing board, seeing what worked, what didn't work, what you want to put in the budget for the next coming year.
Yeah, not so much budget because we are super small budget and our streams are they're duct taped together. It's a lot of, okay, I've got this pile of equipment and I've got these 3 events that I need to stream today. What can I take from where to make a stream for each of them that's watchable? So
awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, I understand that you just have to work with what you have and put it together. And it's kind of I'm happy Wirecast is one of the tools in your toolkit.
Yeah, we've been using Wirecast I think since version 4 is the first version we started using with. For several years it wasn't doing much more for us than like a flash media encoder would.
Right.
But in the last year or two, we've stepped up our game and multi-cameras. We have I don't know, you can see right there, there's a PTZ optics box right there.
Oh, yeah,
we got that.
Yeah.
We got that this year, and we've been able to do for baseball and softball center field cameras wireless over NDI.
Oh, okay.
And that's been, we don't have the budget to run cable that far, so that's a pair of Ubiquiti antennas, and we've got a camera that's 400 feet away and with no wires in between.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So have you played around with any of the controls yet, the built-in controls, or are you just using all the physical controls through Visca?
Or
the remote control?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm super excited about the ability to change the PTZ camera on the shots. I think that's going to be super helpful for us. Basically, what we're doing now is I've got my presets on my controller, and I do that and then change it on Wirecast. And I think just doing the one click is going to be super helpful.
That's great. Yeah, I can't wait for you. So do you have you been able to? Are you on 8 or later? So you can update to 9 and get all that? Okay. And you have the pro version.
It came out just after the end of our season, so I didn't. Or I think maybe we had one game left, and it was still in beta, and it was just like, I'm just gonna stick with what we have for the last
smart.
game. And
that's what I do.
And we'll get it tested this summer and see what we can do. And I'm super excited about the X Keys controller.
Okay.
Although I wish we could. There was more than that specific one.
Yeah.
I've got an X Keys 24 that I'm manually programming, and it works. But there's some glitches, and there's some times where I click a button and all of a sudden Wirecast goes.
Right. Yeah. If we could support total scripting from top to bottom, which is obviously something we want to do, and is on the we're talking about, but we just don't know when it'll be yet. For now, we have to just do the X Keys 128 or one of the MIDI controllers. So good project to work on for the summer. So the professors get the summer off, at least some of it. Do you get some time off this summer?
Summer is when I'll take some vacation and I'll spend a little bit of time with the family. But the more time off I take during the summer, the more busy the year is.
Got it.
Really, the summer is about getting prepared, and because once the end of August, September rolls around and the students are back, it's nonstop for a bunch of months, and so the summer's all about getting prepared for the upcoming year.
Cool. Well, I hope you have some time this summer to just kind of relax and get ready for the next school year. Sounds like you've been working hard all year. And did you have any last questions before we disconnect here? Anything you want to know that that I can help you with, maybe?
No. The only thing I'm put this out there. I think I put it in the forums and whatnot, but there should be a way in Wirecast to have multi-channel audio output.
Okay.
Because one of the things that we struggle with is that we can't send. I can't send a mix minus if we're using play-by-play announcers. I can't send a mix minus signal to them.
Right.
And then still monitor what's actually going out.
Right.
And so there's been a bunch of times where it's like everything sounds great on my end,
but they can't.
But then when I go back and listen to the recording, there's a bunch of clicks.
Right.
That if I'd have been able to monitor that,
you'd have known. Yeah, that's actually, I think, the number one thing that's keeping Rendezvous from being used in our control room right now, because we have to manage all the audio right now through a board. And so if we call in with Rendezvous, we have a bunch of people calling in. We can't send the right mix minuses to everybody, because obviously I need a different mix minus than Deborah Lee needs. She needs the master. I need just everybody minus me. And so it just doesn't work in that setting until we use the ability to output whatever audio bus you want to, or mix you want to whatever bus or output destination, or create a bunch of virtual sources. So that is definitely high on the list. And as soon as I have it, I will let you know, because I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah, no, it would be super helpful. And it's one of those things when, especially, it wouldn't be as bad, but when we're using Wirecast as our sole
mixer,
thing,
and
when we're playing video out of Wirecast,
right,
I want to make sure that our talents can hear the video, so they know when to talk, they know when it's and so on and so forth. So,
right now the only solution is to mix it all, pre-mix it up signal. Using a mixer or a board or something like that, and then to bring route all the correct mix minuses through the board before it ever gets to Wirecast. And don't use Wirecast for that piece of it; just use it as the aggregator for the broadcast.
Right. So, and that's what we're doing. But that also then you don't get to monitor the actual what Wirecast is sending, and so
it gets tricky.
It's a gamble. Every now and then I'm gonna sneak away and go and load up the stream on a computer. It's like, does it sound okay?
Yeah. That's your ultimate test.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a great request, and I will make sure. Again, I think it's on our list, and I will let you know as soon as I know. But thanks for coming on the show today. This is really cool of you.
Absolutely.
So people can find out more of your streams at the University of Willamette at Oregon.
Willamette University. Okay. Our website is wubearcats.com.
wubearcats.com. Go Bearcats. Chris, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye. All right, so I'm booting Chris out of my Rendezvous session, and now I'm going to add our last caller of the day, Silvio. Silvio, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, I can see you.
Hi, Silvio. Let me see if I can add you to our full screen here. Yeah. Welcome. Hey, Silvio.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Wow. No, because I was watching you on my mobile.
Okay. All right. Well, your face should be there just a second.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Italy.
Italy. Wow. Yeah. What time is it there? After midnight?
Exactly. It's midnight. Yeah.
Oh
midnight,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You're up late tonight. Is this normal for you, or do you normally a night person?
Yeah, I'm a night person.
Okay.
I love. You can see on my background. I have my stuff. I'm a ham radio, so at night I love to listen short waves and.
Yeah.
And play stuff with radios and other stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Good
this
time
is my
to
passion.
listen.
It is not my job.
It's your hobby.
Yeah, it's my hobby.
What is your job? Does it involve video or broadcasting?
Yeah, I'm a journalist. We start in 2004, making the first live stream in Italy. During the Winter Olympics game in 2006.
Oh, cool.
2006, here in Torino, we had the Winter Olympics game. So we start the first experiment of live streaming, with we didn't have a DSL, so we have basically 128 kilobytes of bandwidth. So it was a sort of streaming, a pixel streaming.
Yeah,
so,
very small,
yeah,
very small.
very small, very small. And then we start, we create a company that is called Community. Is like a community in English, but with the GO. So it's community is a community movement. The basically idea was to promote and to make live streaming, because we trust that this will be the future, and now is the present.
Yes, yes. Community. Do you still have? Is the Community still active?
Yeah, it's active now. We work for some companies here in Italy, and we produce basically we broadcast a press conference.
Very cool.
So we live stream press conference, and we start using the Wirecast. I think from the edition 5 or 4.
4 or 5. Yeah, that's about when I started. Yeah.
We have a small unit, so basically our unit is a MacBook Pro, Intensity Extreme, and camera like this one.
Panasonic.
And, HDMI, and so the workflow is very light.
Yes.
Because when we move from the press conference, usually we don't have the same contest, no?
Right.
We have to change. Maybe one press conference is in a theater, the other one is on plein air or in a park, or so it depends. So I think that's the perfect setup for us.
Yeah. Keep it light and simple. I was down at the Golden State Warriors, the basketball team here in California, the champions, and they are similar. They do their press conferences one camera and Wirecast, and they just keep it very simple. They can roll in a video if they want. They can go to Facebook. They can go wherever they want. But it's just they keep it light and simple on a little laptop. And I was impressed that they obviously have a lot of money. They can do whatever they want with their press conferences, but they keep it simple.
Yeah, especially if you make an editorial work before the events. With a lighter and simple setup, you can create a professional look of your broadcast. For example, if you work on Adobe for the subtitle, you can create a family feeling subtitle, like the press conference. Sorry,
like a lower third. Or
yeah. So it's you made a great product.
Gives you what you
for us.
Good. That was my next question. If how it's going, and if you had any questions, that you want to ask before we sign off today. I think you will be our last guest for today.
I saw that I don't know if it is in progress something with 360 production. I don't know if you have something in mind, because, for example, I tested with the Theta, the small camera with the 360. I don't know if it's possible in future have a live stream using your software, using this type of camera instead of a traditional camera like this one.
So that is a great question. It's something I haven't done any tutorials on, but I've done some testing privately behind the scenes, and some people actually have done it with Wirecast, they tell me. So real quick, the easy way to do it is you just make sure you get the video signal into Wirecast through the capture card, usually with like the Ricoh Theta or something like that. I think it's like 1440 by it's like square, or it's doubled or something.
It's a double,
And exactly. in Wirecast, you've always been able to set your canvas size to whatever you want. So you can set the canvas size to match that if you want. and then you can go stream it to YouTube or Facebook. Again, setting a custom stream size to those destinations. So I tested it with YouTube, and it worked pretty well. So if you go, Wirecast doesn't do H.265 yet, so that's usually a more efficient way to encode big, HD or 4K types of streams. But if your system will handle it, an H.264 encoding to YouTube at 1440, it should be able to get a 360 signal out to YouTube and Facebook. I haven't tried Facebook.
I have to test it. But by the way,
that would be good.
That's a great feature. I don't know if the 360 live streaming will ever hit the market, because it's a tricky. Actually, it's a tricky
setup and camera.
Setup and camera. And also for the customer is a strange experience.
Right.
You have to move in the images. You never know where focus the attention of the. So it's a strange thing, but I think it could be interesting.
For press conferences, that could be a fun way to experience them and see the questions and then.
Also the backstage of the event, so you have it could be fun.
Well, I think good luck with that. I think that would work great. And give it a try and post it in the Wirecast users group on Facebook or something so we can see. Even if it's just a test, and you could say, "How's this look, everybody?" I'm just trying this out to see how it works, and we can give you some feedback.
And this Rendezvous is first time I see it, because I didn't have upgraded yet to 9, so I'm still at 8.
Okay. Well, 8 has Rendezvous. It should have Rendezvous.
8,
but it's better in 9. We've improved and improved and improved.
So this feature is great, especially when you made the press conference. If you want to invite someone that cannot attend to the conference, this Rendezvous is great, because you can invite, and I call you because I want to understand
how it looks to them.
How it looks to them. How was the feeling, the interaction? If you have a problem with sound, but I saw it's like a Skype conference, so it's very easy. It's good. It was fun for us to do this today, and I'm really glad you called in, and to everyone else who called in, like Chris and Greg and Lutz and Vicky. I mean, it's been really fun to try out this feature today on the show, and I think we'll do more of this, in the future with just to keep doing it. So I appreciate you coming in, staying up late for us, Silvio. I think you are in California, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's morning for you. But
afternoon, but every time on Thursdays at this time, this is when we do the show. So.
No, sometimes I try to wake up to watch your shows, but you have to consider the European market.
I do. We need more early morning shows. You're right.
You have to shift in Texas time or more.
Is it mea culpa? Mea culpa?
Yeah, good Italian.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, good luck with your next live streams, and post them on the users group. We'd love to see them.
Next Monday.
Okay.
Next Monday I have another one.
All right. Sounds good. Good luck.
Ciao.
Bye. Okay, so that was Silvio, and I really appreciate him joining us from Italy, a wonderful country, one of my favorite countries in the world. I just love Italy, so that's amazing. I love just seeing all the users everywhere. We had Greg from Australia, we had Silvio from Italy, we had Chris from just up the continent here in Oregon. Pretty awesome what you can do with this feature with Wirecast Rendezvous. So thank you to all of you for trying out this experiment and joining us on the live show today. I had such a fun time with you guys doing a rendezvous with Rendezvous. You guys should get out there and start trying your own Rendezvous shows and bringing your own Rendezvous productions into Wirecast. I can't wait to see what you guys do. As always, I want to say thanks to you guys, the viewers, for tuning in and playing along today and having a good time. Don't forget, you can always get notified when we have a live show on Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. I'm not sure what next week's show is going to be. We don't have a guest booked, so we'll just have to either book somebody between now and then, or we will come up with another fun topic to do. Maybe we'll pick on audio next week. We don't know. So get notified there. We'll send you an email. You can, of course, get notified on social media. Most of you already know that. It's how you can get these live updates on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. You can also go to the Telestream events page if you're curious and get notified on what we've got going on. We've got a good new webinar coming up soon, so check that out. And thank you to our partners and technology partners who help make this show possible each week. We use a lot of this equipment in the studio to make this show each week and our live webinars. All right, that has been our show. This is our show. This has been another episode of Wirecast Live. I'm your host, Andrew Haley. I will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And I think that's all she wrote. We'll see you next Wirecast Live.